And there's a weird thing in there. It's called a cucumber. It's basically cucumber, but they're really good. You know? Do you see it? The rounds.
Yeah. Thank you.
They're good.
So kind.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were around to eating, but if not,
Yeah.
toss them at me.
Oh no no. Oh, thank you.
On my I know it's such bad timing. I'm sorry. That's a pretty top.
Thank you.
The accent, whatever thing that says like louder than the rest of them, on my Indian piece.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of these,
It's like
and it's
you
the
dig
same
into
note, and the other ones are quick thing.
Okay.
What are those? Do I play it like a normal note? Is what I'm wondering, or is it still like ding?
It's still like
Okay, good. Thanks.
Good morning. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. One more time, please. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Did I hit the right key? Good morning again. I'm John Kelb, worship leader for today's service, which was prepared and will be presented in collaboration with our music director, Kaisa Fern. Our interim minister, the Reverend Karen Anderson, will return to the pulpit next week. The invitation for September, the theme for September is invitation. Today's service will be a bit different as you'll be invited to participate. We'll have more congregational singing than normal. You'll be invited to share in a joys and sorrows ritual, which, for those of you that walked by the front, you'll see there's some pebbles and a bowl vase-like thing. So that'll tempt you to come up and take a look at it. As well as an opportunity to dance. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll also be looking for some volunteers to hold some signs for our opening song. And when Kaisa suggested this song to me, she said, I don't know, it's kind of goofy. And it's like, oh, I'm all in on goofy. So we don't have any moments with the children today, but I think they're going to enjoy the song, and after that we'll sing them out. So apologies for not having the words in the service for singing the children out, but some of you know the words. We'll muddle through. It's okay. So welcome to all, including those streaming. Give them a wave, please. Kaisa?
Well, good morning. I have a question. What does a cat say? Okay, well, most cats say that. But I bought me a cat that says, fiddle-I-fee. Can you say that?
Fiddle-I-fee.
And we're actually going to be singing it. It goes like this. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. So here's how this song goes. And some of you, who knows this song, I Bought Me a Cat? Who's heard it? Okay, a couple of you have heard it. You're going to help. But I have signs. And it goes like this. I bought me a cat. My cat pleased me. I fed my cat under yonder tree. My cat says, and we're going to do a little snap before we do the fiddle-I-fee. It goes, snap, snap. Can I hear you snap twice? My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. So let's do that. The two snaps. And then sing. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. And we're going to keep coming back to that, but we're going to add on an animal in front. So, and we'll have signs. I need 7 volunteers up here to hold signs. You can just come on up, whoever you are. Come, whoever you are. Wanderer, sign holder. So, my duck says quah. No, my duck says quah, quah. Let's do that one. My duck says quah, quah. My goose says quah, quah. My goose says quah, quah. Okay, and this is, take them from the back and hand them down. Do we have 7?
We have 7.
Okay, but, oops, sorry. Let me do it from this way. Can you move to the right, to my right? Yes. Yes. Keep moving. Give yourself some room. Arm's length apart, almost. Just because I don't want you to bump into each other. Take from the back and pass it down, okay? And hold it with the words facing up. So, So my pig says, Griffy, Griffy.
My pig says, Griffy, Griffy.
Uh-huh. My hen, I love this one. My hen says, shimmy shack, shimmy shack.
My hen says, shimmy shack, shimmy shack.
Okay. My goose says, quah, quah.
My goose says,
Hold it.
quack, quack.
If you can hold it up higher, that would be great. My duck says, quah, quah.
My duck says, quack.
Hold it nice and high. My cat, and then we got the two snaps. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. And why don't you move a little bit this way? And that way we got the two snaps in between here. That will remind you. Snap, snap. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. All right, and hold them really up high. We forgot to neigh, but I think everybody knows how to neigh. And then there's the baw. You'll catch on. You can sing this whole song with me, I'm quite sure. I bought me a cat, my cat pleased. Okay, so here's the deal. Hold your sign down until we add an animal, but we're gonna start with the cat. So you can hold up your cat, and then we're gonna buy another. I bought me a cat, my cat pleased me. I fed my cat under yonder tree. Snap, snap. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. Next sign. I bought me a duck. My duck pleased me. I fed. Can you hold your next sign up? There we go. I bought me a duck. My duck pleased me. I fed my duck under yonder tree. My duck says, quack, quack. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a goose. Get your goose. Goose, hello? I bought me a goose, my goose pleased me. I fed my goose under yonder tree. My goose says quah, quah. My duck says quack, quack. My cat says fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a hen, my hen pleased me. I fed my hen under yonder tree. My hen says shimmy shack, shimmy shack. My goose says quah, quack. My duck says quack, quack. My cat says fiddle-I-fee. I bought me my pig pleased me. I fed my pig under yonder tree. My pig says Griffy, Griffy. My hen says shimmy shack, shimmy shack. My goose says quack, quack. My duck says quack, quack. My cat says fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a cow, my cow pleased me. I fed my cow under yonder tree. My cow says baw, baw. My pig says Griffy, Griffy. My hen says shimmy shack, shimmy shack. My goose says quack, quack, quack. My cat says fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a horse, my horse pleased me. I fed my horse under yonder tree. My horse says, neigh, neigh. My cow says, baw, baw. My pig says, Griffy, Griffy. My hen says, shimmy shack, shimmy shack. My goose says, quack, quack. My duck says, quack, quack. My cat says, fiddle-I-fee.
Can sing them out. So we'll now, as soon as Kaeza gets ready, we will sing the children out. Children, may you go out in I'm on. Last Sunday morning was one of those days when I awoke very early and had trouble getting back to sleep. It wasn't even 4 a.m., and thoughts were running through my head about what I was going to say today at worship service. Then I had another thought. Why do I do this to myself? Before I try and answer why, I'll start with the how. My journey to leading services started at Wyben Union Church in Westfield. I found Wyben quite accidentally by checking the yellow pages for a Unitarian Universalist congregation. So one Sunday morning, I headed there to discover that Wyben Union Church was not a UU congregation. But I suppose the word union in the name explains the yellow page error. The union goes back to the early days of that church when it was affiliated with both the Methodist and Baptist denominations, and at the time I arrived, it was interdenominational Christian. Still, I felt welcome and liked the sermon. I also thought that my wife Marcia might be willing to give it a try as well. She did, and it turned out that Wyben was a good fit for our family, and I stayed for about 10 years. While there, I was invited to become a deacon. At Wyben, the deacons are responsible for the spiritual life of the church, and we met regularly with the minister, Armin Prue. When Armin wasn't available to preach, he would ask his brother Mo to fill in. However, during one meeting, Armin announced that he'd be away for an upcoming Sunday service, and Mo wasn't available either. He invited the deacons to lead the service, and the other 4 deacons wanted no part of it. I accepted the invitation. I'm not sure why, other than I'd done technical presentations in my work life as an engineer and was reasonably comfortable public speaking. I'm pretty sure I hadn't thought through the pitfalls of a non-theist leading a Christian service. Maybe I shouldn't have accepted the invitation to become a deacon. But I was one, and I did feel responsible for carrying out my charge. I received guidance from Armin about leading a service. It went fine, even though, while at Wyben, I never recited the creed, which starts with, I believe in God, and goes on from there with more beliefs that I don't have. So I kicked it off, and the congregation ably continued to its conclusion while I listened respectfully. Life is a compromise at times. Fast forward to moving on to an actual UU church, my previous congregation, the Unitarian Universalist Society of Greater Springfield, which is a mouthful, or UUSGS. When Reverend George Ann was off for the summer, services were lay-led. Now, as an experienced worship leader, I again accepted the invitation to lead a summer service and did so for a few years. After the ministerial transition at UUSGS, the model changed to the worship associate model. Many of you remember we also had here at First Parish. Rather than leading an entire summer service, the worship associates collaborated with the minister to take ownership of a small part of the service. I like that model. It didn't keep me up at 4 in the morning. Well, that's my journey, which led me to being here today, leading this service. An accidental journey due to an error in the yellow pages. A first experience that was rooted in accepting invitations, which brings us back to why do I accept an invitation that disrupts my sleep? It's a vehicle for creative expression, Reverend Karen talked about last week. And that's a challenge I feel I need to do to keep growing as a person. I turned 65 and I'm still working on me. You all here at First Parish Brewster help inspire me as I look upon the faces of so many awesome people. I think that's one of the reasons we come to church. to be inspired by each other and grow as people. You may not be a worship associate, but there are other invitations for creative expression here. I suppose that's why the idea for inviting participation in this service came to me. When you take part, using your creative gifts, we all benefit. We're better together. So, at this point, you're invited to greet your neighbor.
That went pretty well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So there'll be more opportunities for greeting your neighbor after the service. We have lovely volunteers that are doing coffee hour and have some food set up in Parish Hall, which is through that door, down the hallway a little bit. And so let's get to some hymn singing. You're invited to sing our next hymn, which is number 354 in the gray hymnal, even though I wrote teal hymnal. It's in the gray hymnal because it's not in the thousands. And it's We Laugh, We Cry. Just a sec. As you sing, I'm going to invite you to let the lyrics wash over you. Your emotion will feed the creative expression in your voice.
And I invite you to stand in body or spirit.
we're going to use this for the ritual. It's off. No, this one's off. This one's on. We're dealing with a barely experienced worship leader today. So, in my idea of participating in a service, I've decided to bring back the Joys and Sorrows ritual, which I suppose many of you remember when a worship service contains such a ritual. It's a practice that has fallen out of favor, but for today's service of invited participation, I've decided it fits. Reverend Karin shared a ritual with me for this practice that was used in the Vero Beach congregation, and I think it's lovely. If you are holding a deep joy or sorrow, you are invited to come up, take a pebble, there's some pebbles up here, and gently drop it in the bowl. Then, you may or may not choose to step up to the microphone and briefly share your deeply held joy or sorrow. So with that, I'll start the ritual, and for those of you that would like to come up, you may at this time. And my deep joy this morning is being with you wonderful people, looking out on your faces from above. Do the pebble first.
I had the joy on Friday of going with my daughter to bring her two children, one a freshman and one a junior at UMass, to bring them over to Amherst and be part of helping my granddaughter move into an apartment with four other people, and my grandson to the 22nd floor of one of the dorms. But to be part of that whole experience was just such a gift to me. So I'm very joyful about that.
I have a joy and a sorrow. My joy is having turned 2 months ago, having turned 80. And celebrating 8 decades on this incredible planet. And my sorrow was the loss of a very dear friend, Judy Ellis, with whom I've had wonderful experiences. I'm still missing her, and I know she's at peace.
I feel grateful for a good life. Had a wonderful weekend at a handpan concert. And I feel tremendous joy that our country might be turning around and feeling like I'm going to get my country back.
We have two joys this morning. The first one is that yesterday we celebrated our 28th anniversary. And the second is that our very dear friend Jeff is visiting us from Detroit today, and he's here in the service.
My joy is that one of my daughters will be married in 2 weeks. She grew up in the church. And as it happens, Armando will be doing her hair and makeup and making her extra beautiful.
I have a sorrow. My dad, he fell in memory care in Danvers, and he is now in the hospital, and they found out because he fell, he had COVID and a high fever. So, yeah, so that's my sorrow.
I have a sorrow also. My grandchildren didn't come to the Cape to visit this year for the first year because they have summer jobs at home.
My sorrow is I lost my husband this year, but my joy is that I'm here visiting with friends on the Cape and he's still with me.
I have a joy, multiple joys, and that is that I was able to be part of our summer program that happened over the last 2 weeks, and it was a tremendous success thanks to so many of you.
My joy is that my nephew's going to be married later on this month, and I'll be getting to see my daughter and my son and his wife, all of whom live far away, and it's going to be a nice time together.
I have a sorrow. We lost a dear friend, Kent Carlson, this year.
Thank you. My joy is that I woke up this morning, and my further joy is that I was able to get here and share it with you. And I have a small sorrow, which is that I physically won't be able to do that more often.
I have a joy. My dad, who's the last of his generation in my family, turned 99 last Saturday.
I have both joys and sorrows in my heart, and I will just keep them there.
I have a joy and a sorrow. The joy is that my 5- and 3-year-old grandchildren came to visit for a few days, and we had them, my husband and I, by ourselves, and that was wonderful and exhausting. And the sorrow that coexisted with that is my dear brother-in-law, who I love dearly, my sister's husband, passed a month ago, and that was just deeply distressing. Thank you.
Well, I've got multiple sorrows and joys, but I'll focus on 3. This past Monday, I was, this is a joy actually, that I went to the Spalding Clinic to get a shot for this back. But the sad news is that I got stuck in that horrendous storm. And I didn't see the accident, but it took me almost 2 hours to go from Sandwich to Brewster. And on Suicide Alley, as we know it, I got to see 2 trucks crossed the median. Another 12-wheeler was on its side. And another car lost its wheels. Now, I don't know how many people died, but I knew at least one did. And this was sorrowful, just to be seeing this. So, the joy. Last night, I got 3 joys. One is, I got to know Christine's old friend, Diana McCoy. And wow, we had a nice connection. And that was serendipity. So the other joy, 2 more joys. The other joy is that last night I took out my friend Angela Caruso, and she's my oldest friend here on the Cape. And she just got back from Italia, where she spends a lot of time. And she turned 78. I had the joy of taking her out to dinner. And now the third joy is that next Saturday, I come from a big family. So I have at least 30 grandnieces and nephews. I lose track. But one of them is going to get married next Saturday, and I love her dearly. So thanks for listening.
I have a choice. Jeff and I have had the joy of meeting a wonderful woman this summer as we brought her to church many Sundays. Her name is Lucy Duffy. Raise your hand back there, Lucy. Lucy spent many years on the Cape, living in Brewster, and in fact has a long history with our church because her father was a minister here, Charles DeVries, beginning in 1959. Is that right? 49. So she knows a lot of history in this church and feels very strongly, feels the love here. And she's visiting her sister Faith Brown, who lives in Brewster still, just for the summer. And this is her last Sunday here before she returns to her home. And we've loved getting to know you. And she also was until her mid-80s, she was a triathlon participant. So she's a remarkable woman, and I hope you'll come back next summer.
Joy and grief. So September 4th would have been our daughter's 50th birthday. She passed away in 1983. Those are her benches outside. And the joy was we had her at all.
It is a great and fulfilling joy to serve this congregation filled with kind, creative, and spirited people.
Thank you all for participating. And when I was a worship associate in Springfield, meeting with the minister, not just myself, the whole team, he would remind us that when we lead a service, people are coming in with joys and sorrows. And as you design a service or come up with words for a chalice lighting, please keep in mind that you never know what people are holding when they come here. So I light the chalice this morning, and I was going to light that little candle because I hate doing matches, but I didn't. I light the chalice this morning in mindfulness of the joys and sorrows being held in the sanctuary. May you celebrate the joys and carry the sorrows with patience and strength. Last week, Reverend Karin talked about process theology. Like Reverend Karin, I identify as a non-theist, though the concept of God as a verb does resonate with me. In fact, I led a summer service in Springfield about God as a verb. As part of that service, I asked the congregation to emphasize the verbs during the reading of their affirmation. Now, our First Parish Brewster affirmation uses believe as a verb 4 times. Believe is not really action-packed, which I believe, see what I did there, doesn't believe the spirit of process theology very well. So for today, I decided to borrow the affirmation from Springfield. We'll read it together in its entirety, and you're invited to emphasize the verbs. It's in the order of service. To be clear, I'm not lobbying to change our affirmation. It's a one-time thing that I think fits this service a little better. And if you're all set, I'll kick it off. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Today's split plate offering is for the UU Urban Ministry, which is a non-sectarian, non-profit, social justice organization working to dismantle racism and white supremacy culture and to advance racial, social, and economic justice. UUUM envisions a greater Boston where all people live with freedom and dignity, have equitable access to resources, and an opportunity to shape the present and the future. Your offering will benefit the UU Urban Ministry as well as the great work of First Parish Brewster. Please make checks out to FPBUU with split plate and today's date on the memo line, or text to give to the phone number in your order of service, or for those of you streaming, that phone number should be on your screen. If you're doing a pledge payment, please write a separate check for that. We are reminded that a religious person is a grateful person, and the grateful person is a generous person. Today's offering is mindfully and gratefully accepted.
Which way the wind blows when this day is done. Breathe, breathe in the air, set your intentions, dream with tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon and brand new sun.
the wind blowing, and what does your heart say?
Pam and Kaeza. Now, y'all may or may not be aware that the recipients of our split plate offerings send thank you notes that are posted in the office. Our outreach beyond these walls is deeply appreciated by these organizations. I invite you to enter a spirit of meditation. Please get comfortable in your seat. Plant your feet firmly on the ground, and you're invited to either close your eyes or look down. Today's meditation is an offer to listen to meditative music that will be followed by a moment of silence. That silence will be followed by singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. This morning's reading is a poem by Mary Oliver entitled Turns. Don't think just now of the trudging forward of thought, but of the wing drive of unquestioning affirmation. It's summer. You never saw such a blue sky. And here they are, those white birds with quick wings, sweeping over the waves, chattering and plunging, their thin beaks snapping, their hard eyes happy as little nails. The years to come, this is a promise, will grant you ample time to try the difficult steps in the empire of thought, where you seek for the shining proofs you think you must have. But nothing you ever understand will be sweeter or more binding than this deepest affinity between your eyes and the world. The flock thickens over the roiling salt brightness. Listen, maybe such devotion in which one holds the world in the clasp of attention isn't the perfect prayer, but it must be close. For the sorrow, whose name is doubt, is thus subdued, and not through the weaponry of reason, but of pure submission. Tell me, what else could beauty be for? And now the tide is at its very crown. The white birds sprinkle down, gathering up the loose silver, rising as if weightless. It isn't instruction or a parable. It isn't for any vanity or ambition, except for the one allowed to stay alive. It's only a nimble frolic over the waves, and you find, for hours, you cannot even remember the questions that weigh so in your mind. So ends today's reading. I was a little kerfluffed during that. I live in a neighborhood with access to Seymour Pond here in Brewster. It's a major reason my wife Marcia and I bought the house that we did 5 years ago when we made the move to Cape Cod. Marcia and I enjoy kayaking, and on any given paddle, we never know what nature has in store. River herring and alewife migrate in to spawn in the spring, and the youngsters migrate out in the fall. The herring are prey for larger fish. I've heard tales of 7-pound bass. And there are many birds. Heron and egrets are seen on the shores. Mergansers and loons dive under the water. Yes, loons on Cape Cod. Kingfishers, osprey, and the occasional bald eagle hunt from the air, as do terns. Terns, those white birds with quick wings sweeping over the waves, chattering and plunging. When we moved here, I had no idea Seymour Pond was so full of life. Mostly I just wanted to kayak and pond swim. I love pond swimming. I grew up pond swimming. As parents, Marcia and I often camped for a summer vacation with my brother's family. At our favorite campground in New Hampshire, a daily activity included swimming across the pond with kayak escorts for safety. Seymour Pond has an underwater ridge toward the other side from our neighborhood beach. I swim to the ridge and stand to rest a while before swimming back. Sometimes, when I'm standing neck deep in the water, terns surround me. I'm just a non-threatening head while they go about their business of living, without a care about me, sweeping over the waves, chattering and plunging. It's magical. Watching the terns is one example of many times that I've accepted nature's unspoken invitation to experience its peace and beauty, putting aside the challenges of life for a while. I'm glad Mary Oliver agrees. And, by the way, science agrees. In February, First Parish Brewster hosted Nick Suchecki, a Cape Symphony saxophonist who presented a demonstration of his program to mitigate stress with music. Nick's focus was on the scientific research that demonstrates calming music reduces stress. If my memory is correct, Nick used Bob Marley's song, Three Little Birds, as an example. Or maybe I just love that song. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be all right. Saying don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right. Walked out this morning, smiled at the rising sun. Three little birds beside my doorstep, singing sweet songs, a melody pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Nick remarked that being outside and tuning into the musical sounds of nature is also a stress reducer. Now, people may agree or disagree about term chattering being musical. What do you think, Kaeza? Musical chattering? We have some Berkeley School of Music attendees in the loft there. What do you think? Chattering, musical? Getting some head nodding? Judy, my uke teacher, also a friend of a gull. What do you think? Chattering, musical? Yeah? Okay. Well, it's no matter, because when I'm standing there, neck deep in the water, as the white birds sprinkle down and rising as if weightless, I'm not stressed. I cannot even remember the questions that weigh in my mind, some of which weighed in my mind last Sunday at 4 in the morning.
we're going to close the service singing something that we put the lyrics on the back here. And I want to sing you each line and have you sing it back to me. So it's in this little box at the bottom. As one we're on this earth together. Let's try that. As one we're on this earth together. As one we sing to her our song. And let's try that. As one we sing to her our song. As one we love her. As one we heal her. Let's do those. As one we love her. As one we heal her. Her heart beats with our own as one. Her heart beats with our own as one. Let's sing it all through. As one we're on this earth together. As one we sing to her our song. As one we love her. As one we heal her. Her heart beats with our own as one. And we can do some movements to this. So if you'd like to stand, I'll show you. You can also, some of you can come into the aisles if you'd like to. You know what, I'm going to demonstrate up here. So if you come into the aisle, you can do a little movement for this song. It's not a lot, and it's just like a step touch, side touch kind of thing. It goes, as one we're on this earth together, just with a step touch, and then in place. As one we hear, we sing to her our song. And if you're standing there, you can just do that side touch. As one we sing to her our song. And then for this, you take your arms. As one we love her, as one we heal her. Her heart beats with our own as one. You can just stamp your feet. So anybody want to come to the aisle and try it with me? Yeah, that's okay. All right, ready? As one we on this earth together. You can go that way. As one we sing to her our song.
For our benediction, you're invited to hold the hands of your neighbor. As we go off into the world today and through the rest of the week, keep in mind, we are as one. We are better together, especially when we're out there verbing. Go in peace.